Welcome one and all to the Russian Grand Prix. We're just a stone's throw from the Georgian border here at Sochi as we get ready to begin the race that served up an absolute cracker back in 2015. A last lap collision between Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas sparked controversy in that race, so let's hope the racing is just as tight today. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. And alongside me to take you through it all is none other than Anthony Davidson. This was a circuit that I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
Well, this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Vettel, Nico Rosberg, and Bottas, Sainz, Massa, Gutierrez, and Daniel Kvyat, Grosjean, Verstappen, Jenson Button, and Alonso, Perez, Hülkenberg, Jolyon Palmer, and Renault, Ericsson, and Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto, and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Hello everybody and welcome to F1 2016 Career Mode. We are live from the Russian Grand Prix. We start from 18th on the grid due to a mess up in qualifying. Here's a look at the strategy, and as you can see it looks like it's going to be wet at some point during this Grand Prix. So we're going to take a bit of fuel out because obviously we won't be using as much. Plus it'll give us a slightly lighter car, won't it, during the race, which we're going to get straight into. Let's just skip past the formation lap there. And here we go, onto the grid. 18th out of 22 drivers. And away we go. Pretty good launch off the line. Looks like Wehrlein got a little bit of contact ahead of us. So we're going to swing to the inside of the track. Hard on the brakes down the inside into turns 2. We're up into 12th place. Having to lift, otherwise we're going to go off the track. Bit naughty there, but we're up to 9th place now as we carry on this lap. So that's a great start, P18 to 9th place. Can we make it a 10th place increase this lap? Right behind Gutierrez. Onto this second DRS straight. Obviously DRS is not active yet. It's just a case of setting ourselves up into this sort of tricky off-camber section. Really tricky to get right in the dry, let alone when it becomes wet later on in the race. Into these final 2 corners, slightly tighter, closer together version of Yas Marina's last couple of corners. Here we go down this long pit straight. We're on the inside of Gutierrez, going down into turn 2. Hard on the brakes. And that's us up into 8th place. So we've gained 10 places off the start. Quite a few queue of cars in front of us as we try and get Carlos Sainz. Nearly run into the back of him there. We managed not to. See these tricky off-camber corners again. The majority of these corners are quite off-camber. Onto that back straight. Well, we call it a straight. It's got 2 rather significant curves in it. Need to make sure that we don't make any errors. Not to run into the back of Sainz. Otherwise we're going to damage that front wing, and as we know in this game, front wing damage is hell. Great run out the corner. And we'll have DRS as well. Run into the back of Sainz, trying to pass him without even having DRS at that point. He's got it as well. We're going to have a look up the inside. And through we go. Upper position. Oh! Don't know what's going on here. Raikkonen having a bit of contact with the cars in front of him. Vettel getting involved in that as well. We're going to capitalise. Take Vettel on the inside. We're up into 6th position. Lap 4 of the race later on. Raikkonen has passed Ricciardo, and we're going to do the same. Renault versus Renault. Through we go with the DRS. Lap 18, and as you can see, it's bucketing it down. We've got Ricciardo behind us, next to us, and in front of us. This Renault is not the best car in the wet. Although I think the weather was a little bit bugged out here, because this is not intermediate tyre conditions. And the engineer has said on a few occasions that it's not intermediate conditions, but the AI will not pit and they have a lot more grip, so I decided, hey, stay out. No point pitting for wets if nobody else is going to. We run off again there. Remember, this is for 2 points in the championship. Not only that, but that's against our teammate immediately behind us on this final lap. Got to be so careful and tiptoe. As you see, we've also got front wing damage. Like I said, that makes the car incredibly difficult to drive. But we have done it. We cross the line and get another points finish. I'm going to say that was a chaotic race in terms of just having to have the concentration.
Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, keeping their tire
There's your race winner, Lewis Hamilton.
Conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Look at the rain bucketing it down.
And here are our podium drivers today.
Here's
after
the
that
podium.
Excellent race. They've excelled here.
Hamilton winning the race, Rosberg in second, Raikkonen in third.
Mercedes then are on top today.
Hopefully one day that will be us in this career mode. So there we go. Hamilton, Rosberg, Raikkonen, Bottas, Massa, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Perez and me.
It's time to see how this result
There's how the Drivers' Championship looks. Lewis Hamilton now leads the championship. Verstappen drops to third. Bottas and Ricciardo gain. Kvyat and Hulkenberg drop.
They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
And thank you, Anthony Davidson, for voting me your driver of the day.
To the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
I agree. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did and a comment. And I shall see you next time out for the Spanish Grand Prix.